Section 9 of the Fables of Pilpay. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Fables of Pilpay by Anonymous, translated by Abdullah Ibn al-Muqaffa and Joseph Harris. Chapter 2. That we ought to avoid the insinuations of flatterers and backbiters. The first admonition, said the monarch to the Brahmin, contained in this most inestimable legacy of moral precepts is, that kings ought never to listen to false reports, or the insinuating malice of flatterers, which never produce anything but misfortunes, and always bring an ill end to such as hearken to them. Whoever, cried the Brahmin, observes not this command, must needs to be ignorant of the fable of the lion and the ox. Upon which, the king being desirous to hear it, Pilpay, in the following manner, began the fables. Fable 1. The Merchant and His Children, being the introduction to the fable of the lion and the ox. A certain merchant, a man well skilled in the affairs of the world, falling sick, and perceiving that his age and his distemper would not long permit him to live, called his 3 sons together, who were very debauched, and wasted his estate in riot and disorder. Sons, said he, I know you may be in some measure excused for thus consuming my estate, inasmuch as that you know not what it costs to get it, but it becomes you to learn, at least, that riches should be only properly made instrumental to acquire the blessings of heaven and earth. There are 3 things that men of different tempers and dispositions labor for in this world with more than ordinary vehemence. The first is, to enjoy all the pleasures of life, and the seekers after these are the people who are addicted to intemperance, and abandon themselves to sensual delights. The second is, to obtain high dignities and preferments. Those who endeavor after these are the ambitious, who only love to command and be admired. The third is, to acquire more valuable and more lasting joys, the joys of heaven, and to take delight in doing good to others. Those who place their happiness in these noble enjoyments deserve the highest admiration and applauses. But, my sons, there is no way to attain this last great end but by the means of wealth well got. Now, seeing that what we seek for in this world is not to be had without money, that, as it can procure us whatever we search for, must be first of all acquired, and most carefully preserved. But they who meet an estate already got to their hands, know not the trouble of getting it, and that is the reason they consume it so prodigally. Therefore, dear children, give over this irregular life, take care of yourselves, and rather endeavor to increase your estates than to waste them in these idle extravagances. Father, replied the eldest son, you command us to acquire, but you should consider that acquisition depends only upon fortune. This also I am perfectly convinced of, that we shall never want what is destined us. Though we should never stir a foot to obtain it, on the other side, we shall never be masters of what is not ordained for us, though we should torment ourselves to death in endeavoring after it. I remember an old proverb. Whenever I fled what destiny had allotted, I always met with it, but whenever I sought for that which never was appointed me, I never could find it. This is clearly to be seen by the fable of the old king's 2 sons, of which one discovered his father's treasures and gained the kingdom with little trouble, while the other lost it, though he did all he could to preserve it. The father on this desired that he might hear this story, which his son rehearsed as follows. End of section 9.